What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with my review of the Google Pixel 8 Pro. So without further ado, let's get started. Now for full disclosure, I am part of Team Pixel, and this device is a gift from Google. However, all opinions expressed in this video are completely my own. Now the Pixel 8 Pro recently launched, and this phone is the successor to last year's Pixel 7 Pro. Now going from that generation to this generation has definitely brought us quite a few improvements, and I'm looking forward to going over all of my favorite things about this device here in this video. But before we get too far into things here, let's see what all comes included in the box. So here's the box. You can see right there, Pixel 8 Pro, and this particular color of the device is in Obsidian. However, there are several other colors available, and I will be linking to this device in the video description so you can see all those various details for yourself. But included in the box is this small booklet here. We're also getting a USB OTG adapter, which is nice to have. And then there's also a double-sided USB-C cable for charging and data transfer. Now the Pixel 8 Pro features an MSRP of $999. However, we'll be linking to the device in the video description so you can see the most up-to-date pricing and availability for the phone, because who knows, as time goes on, there might be various deals and discounts available. Now this is the factory unlocked model of the device, which means that I can pretty much use it with any carrier. Now with this device, we're getting a very large 6.7-inch display featuring Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2. So with Victus 2, it makes it extra durable, and then with it being so large at 6.7 inches, this is giving us a nice big canvas for watching video content, looking at photos, or going on social media. So definitely a big fan of this big display. Now one of the newest innovations this year though is that the display is a lot brighter than the Pixel 7 Pro, which is a great thing, and then the display itself is still LTPO AMOLED at 120 Hz. So with the display being AMOLED, we're getting excellent viewing angles here, and then with it being 120 Hz, everything runs really smoothly as well, giving us nice premium feel. And we have the Google Tensor G3 processor, which I'll be talking about later on in the video, but that processor does allow the display to run very smoothly at that faster refresh rate. But in real life, it's very easy to tell though that this display does get very bright, so that's certainly a really good thing, and especially when you're outdoors, that really comes in handy. Now the resolution of this display is 1344 by 2992, so a very high resolution here, and then we are getting a PPI of 489. And then with this device, we are getting a 20:9 aspect ratio, so a more narrow but taller form factor, keeping it pretty consistent with most other smartphones that have launched in the last few years. Now this phone does feature an 87.4% screen to body ratio, so pretty small bezels all throughout. And then up top here, we do have a hole punch for the 10.5 megapixel front facing camera. Now a little bit later on in the video, I'll be showing you a variety of different photo and video samples from all the various cameras here on the device, so hopefully that'll give you a better idea of the actual quality of the cameras that we're getting here. Now internally with this phone, we're getting 128 gigabytes of storage, but unfortunately no ability to add any microSD card. The amount of storage we're getting here is the maximum that we actually have, and I do feel like 128 gigs is a little bit too low for being the base configuration for a Pro phone, as they call it. I really feel like it should have been at least 256 gigabytes. I feel like especially for Pro level smartphone users, they're gonna probably fill up that 128 gigs pretty fast. I suppose you have to consider how much space you're using in your current device to see if that's going to be a problem or not for you, but if you are willing to pay a little bit more, I probably would go with 256 gigabytes. But again, it really comes down to how you personally use your smartphone. Now with the Pixel 8 Pro, we are getting wireless charging, and it supports wireless charging at up to 23 watts, so that actually is very fast. And then with this device, we do have an in-display fingerprint sensor, so it's very fast and accurate, and in addition to that, we are getting face unlock. Now taking a look at the cameras on the back of the phone, we're getting a triple camera setup. So there's a 50 megapixel main camera, a 48 megapixel 5x telephoto camera, and a 48 megapixel ultra wide angle camera that can capture images at up to 126 degrees. Now you can quickly get to the camera app by just double pressing on the power button. That's very convenient. And then as you can see, here is the camera setup. Now you can very conveniently access the camera app by just double pressing on the power button. And just like that, it brings us right over. Now from here, you can see we have the main rear camera pulled up. Now what's cool too is that if you do want to actually capture images of that full 50 megapixels, you can swipe up here, go to Pro, and then switch it from 12 megapixels to 50. The downsides though with 50 megapixel photos is that they're going to take up a bit more space on your device, and then also there is a slight delay when you are capturing those images. But we are getting a lot of different professional abilities with the cameras this time around. For example, we can go right here and adjust the brightness, shadows, white balance, but also this time around, we're getting focus control. So you can see here that I can actually pick the amount of focus that I want or where I want the focus to be. And it might be a little bit difficult to see here, but there is a little pink outline for the stuff that is in focus. And then you can go to the slider here to make further adjustments for that. There's also shutter speed and ISO as well. We can also go over to 0.5 here to access the ultra wide camera. And then with that, we're able to fit a lot more content into a single frame here. And in addition to that, with the ultra wide camera, that doubles as a macro camera. So you can simply go very close up to an object. So like in this situation right here, and then I can take a photo, and it's in very good detail. So it is very cool how the ultra wide camera is also a macro camera. But we can also flip around here to the front facing camera. We can take regular selfies. We can also crop out a little bit for a group selfie. And there's also portrait mode for the front facing camera. And there's even the action pan mode for the front camera this time around. Now accessing video mode is different this time with Android 14, but you can do it by just switching over to the video camera icon. And then from there, all the different settings and options at the bottom here, switch over to video. Now with this device, we are getting 4K video for both the front and rear cameras at 60 FPS, so that's really nice to see. Now also related to the cameras and the photos you'll be taking with them, there are a lot of different AI features in this device. However, I am going to save that for my dedicated tips and tricks video about the phone, as there's so many things to show you, it really wouldn't fit in this video. Now internally with this device, we're getting 12 gigabytes of RAM paired up with the Google Tensor G3 processor. Now this is the first device with the G3 processor, so that's brand new. And with that processor, we're getting better performance. We're also getting better heat management and efficiency. And then finally, we are getting a lot of different AI abilities built in and made possible due to that chipset. Now, from my experience of using the phone, it runs really smoothly with that processor. It is a flagship processor giving us flagship performance. Now, I did run a benchmark test using Geekbench 6, and here are the scores that I got from that test. So I got a single core score of 1674 and a multi-core score of 3681. So what I recommend doing is running this test on your current phone and then compare your scores to these scores to get a better idea of how the Pixel 8 Pro compares to what you currently have. But if you are coming from a smartphone that's several years old, it is very likely that the Pixel 8 Pro will be offering some really solid performance increases. And then with this device, we're getting a very large 5050 mAh internal battery along with up to 30 watt fast charging. So 30 watt fast charging is pretty good. I would have preferred it to be a little bit faster than even that, but I think for most people 30 watts will be plenty good. Now keep in mind though, there is no wall adapter included, so if you do want to recharge the phone at 30 watts, you're going to have to make sure that you're actually using a wall adapter that supports that. Now this device does ship with Android 14, which is awesome, and you're getting a near stock experience here. However, Pixel has added in a variety of their own features, which again I'll be highlighting in my tips and tricks video about this phone. But one of the biggest announcements this year is that this phone is actually getting up to 7 years of Android updates. So that's a long time. You'll be getting Android 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and so on. So 7 years of support is really incredible. I don't know how many people are going to be using this phone after 7 years, and it's kind of unlikely that the battery would even hold up for that long, just like really any smartphone out there, but I suppose more software support is definitely better than less. Now this phone does feature NFC, so that's great. If you like to do tap and pay using services such as Google Pay, you can do that here. It's also IP68 dust and water resistant, which means that the phone can go underwater for up to 1.5 meters for up to 30 minutes. And the phone does support both regular nano SIM and eSIM. So if you are someone who's a little bit disappointed about Apple no longer supporting regular SIM cards, then just know that we're still getting that feature here. And another feature that's new for this year is that we're actually getting a thermometer built into the Pixel 8 Pro. So the thermometer is located right there. And then to access it, you simply go to an app here called Thermometer. So we'll pull that up, and then you can take temperatures of different objects. Now, they actually have different options in addition to the default. So there's food and organic, beverages and water, and then a lot of different options here. So that kind of helps it get a better idea of what you're actually trying to get the temperature of. But for demonstration purposes, let's take the temperature of this ice cube. So it says put the phone about 2 inches away from the object. There we go. And you can see that it pulled up a temperature of 42.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Obviously the ice cube is at freezing temperature, but I guess things are warming up a little bit now that it's thawing. Now I'll admit, as of right now, the thermometer isn't necessarily that useful, but I have a feeling that as time goes on, it is going to prove itself to be more useful than we might think. But let's now take a look at some photo samples from the Google Pixel 8 Pro. Now you can see these images in front of you, so I'll let the results speak for themselves, but overall I've been very happy with the various cameras and the quality from them on the Pixel 8 Pro. I feel like it's some of the best quality that I've gotten out of any smartphone that I've used, both daytime and nighttime. So there's of course excellent night sight mode on here. And taking photos in that 50 megapixel mode really makes things extra crisp and clear, and you can even crop in quite a bit and still retain a lot of quality. I also like how the phone does a great job at balancing things out between areas that are more shaded and areas that are brighter, for example, too. So overall, I can't really think of any complaints when it comes to the various cameras on the Pixel 8 Pro. But let's now take a look at some video samples from the Pixel 8 Pro. What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with a 4K front-facing test video from the Google Pixel 8 Pro. Definitely curious to know what you think about the video and audio quality. And here's a 4K test video using the main rear camera on the Google Pixel 8 Pro. This is in 30 FPS. And we do have very quick autofocus in video mode, which is great. I also like too that we can switch to the ultra wide angle camera in the same video clip. So we'll do that switch right now. And then now with the ultra wide, as you can see, we can fit a lot more into a single frame here. And we'll switch back to the regular camera. Notice too how the camera here balances things out between the brighter areas and the more shaded areas. But let's take a look at the actual hardware itself here with the Pixel 8 Pro. Now this phone is made of aluminum on the sides and then glass in the front and back. But one of the things that's new this year is that we're actually getting a matte finish on the back of the phone. Now I'm actually a big fan of that. Now in other colors it doesn't really pick up fingerprints. In this obsidian color it does a little bit. So that is one downside with going with this color, but I really do like matte finishes on phones, so I'm glad that they did make this change. But taking a look at the left side of the device, there's nothing except for the slot for the SIM card. Then on the right side, we have the power button, volume up and volume down. Then up top here, we have the noise canceling microphone. And then on the bottom of the device, we have the speaker, USB-C port for charging and data transfer, and the microphone. And then on the back of the phone, we have the camera module, flash, thermometer, and also the Google logo. But that's pretty much it. But this concludes my review video of the Google Pixel 8 Pro. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. But this is Kevin here. Let me know what you think of the device in the comments section below. And with all that said, I'll see you in the next one. Take care and have a great rest of your day.